Welcome to the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Friday, November 15th. Over the last month, we've seen precipitation only in the far north of the Great Basin, but even this has been well below normal for the time of year, with persistent dry conditions over southern and western areas. There has been no new snowfall across the Great Basin, and currently our snowpack is below normal in all areas, but between about 75 and 80% of normal further north up into central Idaho and western Wyoming, and obviously well below normal or non-existent over western and southern areas of the Great Basin due to the dry conditions. However, we do not have any significant drought conditions across the area. The Evaporative Demand Drought Index indicates the only significant areas of drought are further west into parts of western Washington, Oregon, and northern California. The satellite image from this morning shows high pressure still dominating the Great Basin. This will keep warm temperatures and sunny skies. However, we do have a cold front that will start pushing south across northern areas later today and into the weekend. And this will bring some cloud cover, a few showers, and a drop in temperatures. So again, later today, that cold front will swing through the northern areas of the Great Basin and bring some precipitation to the far north. However, right now it looks like any precipitation will be fairly light, with generally cloud cover and about a 10-degree drop in temperatures from today till tomorrow. We will have some breezy conditions, so we will see a little bit better dispersion over parts of eastern Nevada, western Utah, and southern Idaho today. And you can see those winds in the image on the left. Wind gusts generally between about 20 and 25 miles per hour, but again enough to improve dispersion conditions with the stronger winds further north and west. Mixing heights will remain in the low to moderate range. On Saturday, that front moves well off to the east into the central Rockies and the plains, with high pressure briefly rebuilding again. We will keep that northerly flow behind the front over the northern and western or eastern areas of the Great Basin, and again this will improve dispersion over much of Utah, southern Nevada, and eastern Idaho into Wyoming, with still very light winds and poor dispersion over western Nevada. You can see where the strongest winds will be on Saturday, generally in the higher terrain of Utah, also parts of the Arizona Strip and southern Nevada, with wind gusts generally between about 25 and 35 miles per hour. We'll also have those breezy winds further north into Wyoming with moderate mixing heights. As we move into Sunday, we still have northwesterly flow across the Great Basin, but generally dry conditions. We do have another front that will approach the area from the west as we move into next week, however. So poor dispersion with lighter winds on Sunday. The only area that will hang on to those breezier winds will be southern areas of the Great Basin. And you can see those wind gusts still generally between about 25 and 35 miles per hour in the far south and also over western Wyoming. Mixing heights will be dropping a little bit on Sunday and more in the low range, with some areas in the moderate range in the far south. Looking at the forecast clearing index for Utah, you can see fairly high clearing indices today with those breezier winds in the mountains, with low clearing indices over eastern and western areas. Similar conditions on Saturday, although they will be a little bit lower, and then a significant decrease on Sunday as we see lighter winds statewide. The only showers expected with this cold front again will be over central Idaho into parts of western Wyoming, and most of these showers will be on the lighter side with a heavier precipitation further north and east. As we move into early next week, we start to see that cold front moving into the Pacific Northwest. We will see an increase in winds eventually over parts of western Idaho later in the day on Monday, but for most of the day, generally poor dispersion and dry conditions. Tuesday and Wednesday is where we'll see more of a significant change across the Great Basin as this cold front drops far south into southern California and also taps into moisture from the south. This will bring widespread showers to the area later on Tuesday into early Wednesday, and this will continue throughout the day on Wednesday and into Thursday. Dispersion will be generally low, with the exception of some breezy winds ahead of the front over parts of Utah and Idaho. But again, this significant increase in moisture is something we haven't seen in quite some time across the Great Basin. This area of low pressure will remain over southern areas of the Great Basin on Wednesday, continuing with that moisture wrapping around the low, bringing shower activity to most of the Great Basin. We'll also see temperatures drop 15 to 20 degrees as we move into the middle of next week, with highs only reaching the 40s across many areas of the Great Basin and lows in the 20s and 30s. So definitely much colder by the middle of next week, and also a significant amount of moisture likely for many areas. On Thursday, that system starts to exit, but still keeps moisture over the eastern half of the Great Basin, so we'll continue with those showers and cooler temperatures. We'll also see a little bit improvement in dispersion over much of Nevada into southern areas and also up across Idaho as those winds may be a little bit breezy around that area of low pressure. The precipitation map here is only through about Wednesday morning, so you can see the increase in precipitation over southern areas and over the northern half of the areas as well. However, most of the precipitation with this cold front will occur throughout the day on Wednesday. So we will see more precipitation than what this map indicates as we move through Wednesday and Thursday. The 8 to 14 day outlook takes us into the end of November, showing generally warm temperatures and dry conditions for northern areas, but a better chance at moisture over the southern half of the Great Basin. So you may see those conditions transition to wetter, and additional cold fronts bringing some wind, cooler temperatures, and precipitation as we move through the rest of November. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back on Monday for the latest updates.